the need for so much gruesome, graphic violence? Why not let us imagine
because
a little
it's so
of it?
much fun, Jan. Get
Really?
it?
Tarantino was 29 years old, slinging VCR tapes at video archives in Manhattan Beach. He decides that this isn't going to be his life. He drops everything, grabs a notebook, and writes Reservoir Dogs longhand in 3 weeks. His original plan? To use the $30K he made from selling the True Romance script to shoot a raw 16mm black and white version of Reservoir Dogs with his video store buddies, playing Mr. Pink himself. But then one script pass flips everything. From a $30K budget to a $1.5 million budget, Harvey Keitel on board, and Sundance bus. Step by step, this is exactly how it went down.
You have to know how to make a movie. If you truly love cinema with all your heart and with enough passion, you can't help but make a good movie.
There was no fancy setup. He'd been hustling, doing acting gigs, with even a bit as Elvis on Golden Girls for pocket cash. But the sale of the True Romance script finally gave him something to start his directing career with, and that script was Reservoir Dogs. The script's core: a diamond heist crew meets post-robbery in one warehouse. Colours for names with non-linear flashbacks, making the tensions high with the narrative structure. It was designed cheap. One main set, dialogue heavy, no big action sequences. Producer Lawrence Bender signs on early, with plans to play Nice Guy Eddie. They scout 60mm gear for a quick guerrilla shoot, maybe 12 days. Tarantino was all in. This is my Mr. Pink, this is my team, this is my way. Bender reads the full thing one night and stops him. This deserves actors and colour. Give me 2 months to shop it around, or you can do your $30K version. Tarantino agrees, but with a deadline. So Lawrence Bender takes it to his acting class teacher. The teacher passes it on to his wife. The wife passes it on to Harvey Keitel. Keitel, already a legend in films such as Taxi Driver, reads it overnight and calls him. I'm going to be white, and also I'll co-produce. This was the game changer. Keitel funds their NY casting trip, hotels, sessions with pros. They end up snagging Steve Buscemi for Pink, Tim Roth for Orange, Michael Madsen for Blonde. Meanwhile, back in LA, Sundance Film Labs accepts it, which means a free directing workshop that helps polish Tarantino's directing chops. Principal photography kicks off July 1991, wrapping in just 35 days. The main set was actually a abandoned LA mortuary. Caskets in view, embalming tubes dangling, even a hearse out back doubling as production storage. Heat waves makes the shoot miserable. It turns it brutal. For example, in the ear scene there was a lot of fake blood going around, which was corn syrup, and the mix congealed daily. Tim Roth had to lay marinating in it for 10 hours as Mr. Orange, with crew peeling him off the floor like dried paint. Michael Madsen's Mr. Blonde had minimal rehearsal for that infamous stuck in the middle with you dance. So he drew inspiration from James Cagney, but then ended up improvising the rage after someone on set ad-libbed a line about his kid. Michael Madsen had just become a father then, and he channeled that rage all into that scene. They had 2 weeks of rehearsals, which meant that takes were tight and efficient. Other locations included Pat and Lorraine's coffee shop for that breakfast scene about the Madonna thing, graffiti walls on Beverly Boulevard. There was a paramedic on set for safety, but the script's constraints meant no major overruns. Tarantino wrote Reservoir Dogs on spec, just a script first, penned longhand in a notebook. He kept it simple. One main location, an abandoned warehouse, which actually ended up being a former mortuary, with dialogue driving the tension over any big action set pieces. If you're an aspiring filmmaker, I think there are a few takeaways from his story that I think we can all take. He doesn't just keep the script to himself. So I think it's important that you build your network and you share your work early with friends and contracts. Tarantino passed it through his video store circle, and it ended up being in the hands of Harvey Keitel. And after Keitel signed on as an actor and co-producer, it unlocked $1.5 million in funding and an amazing cast. Another thing that I think we can take away is rehearse extensively. At least for a feature, maybe something like 2 weeks to lock in that chemistry. The rehearsals saved time on their quick shoot and built that raw ensemble feel. In terms of locations, hunt for cheap, gritty spots like the warehouse that Tarantino used to build that atmosphere with that set design. And that final piece in the puzzle hit the festivals. Reservoir Dogs premiered at Sundance in 1992. It drew a buzz and Miramax picked it up for US distribution soon after. Tarantino went from video store clerk to an auteur because the tight script that he had written scaled up without losing its edge.